Our English learners, whether they are currently in the ESOL program, just recently exited the ESOL program, or perhaps exited quite some time ago, they form a range, they form a continuum of needs. Not all of our English learners fit into one little category. We have ELs who are gifted and talented. We have ELs who are completely on grade level and ready to go. They just need the English language piece. We have ELs at different language levels of proficiency in English. Some of our ELs have learning disabilities like any other student would. Some of our ELs are newly arrived to the United States, having just come from outside of the US within the past year and need specialized supports to adjust. Some of our ELs have interrupted or limited formal education. Some of our ELs live in Title I areas, and because they are living in poverty, they are most likely at a higher probability of failure. They're at-risk students. Our charge then is to figure out, wow, how do I create conditions that meet all of these various needs and keep the instruction at the highest of levels? So it starts with a vision. One of the things we need to do as a leader in a high EL impact school is to take the time to envision what an ESOL program might look like. Let me explain. So at LSI Elementary, we said, okay, our vision is that ESOL teachers and grade level teachers would form professional learning communities, or PLCs, to create equitable conditions for all students to learn academic English and grade level content simultaneously. We decided with the numbers that I just shared with you that we were way beyond trying to target individual students, although you do that too, but we had to shift to say, wait, the impact of our EL population is such that we just need school-wide equitable conditions for all students to learn that academic English and grade level content at the same time. That was the vision that we adopted. So what was the previous vision? It was one where ESOL teachers are seen more as a case manager. And this typically happens in many schools. It's been my experience over the past years. I've got 35 years in education. I've got a lot of feedback from different schools who deal with this population. And what happens typically is that your ESOL teachers are assigned to serve equal numbers of ESOL students across the grade levels. Equal numbers. So I'm going to have 50, you're going to have 50, I'm going to have 50, and I might be in grades 2 and 3. You might be in grades 4 and 5. You might be in grades 2, 3, and 4, depending on what equal is in your school. Also, when we are envisioning ESOL as a case manager approach, individual teachers then make determinations about which curriculum they use to deliver ESOL instruction. Which method are they going to use? Are they going to pull out? Are they going to plug in? And individual teachers determine the amount of time that they provide on ESOL instruction. Generally speaking, newcomers, students at a lower level of ESOL, English language proficiency, do receive more time for ESOL instruction, and students at the higher levels tend to receive less time. But these decisions are being individually determined by teachers. In other words, the three variables of curriculum, service delivery model, and the amount of time do create what I would call random acts of improvement. Many of you are familiar with this chart in organizational leadership, where if we're not careful, we can have well-intentioned staff all working very hard to do what they feel is best for children. but we're going in different directions. Why? Because in the world of ESOL, I have this case management approach. I, as the ESOL teacher, decide for my 50 kids, okay, we're going to use this curriculum. We're going to plug in for this, but pull out for this one. And I'm going to provide 30 minutes of instruction, maybe 5 days a week. Well, guess what? My colleague is doing something different. And my other colleague is doing something different. How, with this level of variance, then, are we going to move the organization so that we can eliminate variance and align our efforts to meet school improvement goals? You can't do it when you have random acts of improvement. The benefit of taking the time in a high EL impact school of envisioning what your EL program could be to create equitable conditions is that it will align your arrows. You're going to be able to rein in how your ESOL teachers are approaching those three variables I mentioned. Once again, the variable of curriculum, service delivery model, and time. We need to align our arrows. The way to do that is by envisioning what an equitable ELD program in your school could be. So let's conceptualize this another way, this notion of equitable conditions. I'm sure many of us have seen these graphics many times before. And everyone, the graphic on the left, where we see equality, everyone gets to see the same ball game. And of course, the familiar graphic that you see here is used to depict equality, where everyone gets the same to see the ball game. That's the first one. And here you have equity, where everyone gets what he or she needs to see the ball game. In both instances, the wooden fence is used as the barrier. However, in the justice frame, the wooden fence is removed completely, enabling everyone to see the game. While LSI argues that our school-wide ELD model creates equitable conditions for ELs, and it most certainly does, the ELD model can actually create justice for students when ESOL and non-ESOL teachers are in true collaboration and are leading the school improvement journey. Justice means our students get access to grade level curriculum, regardless of their English language proficiency. We've completely removed the barrier.